I'm about to hurt your feelings, and this might save your life. Some of y'all keep confusing forgiveness with reconciliation, and that's why you're stuck in emotional debt or in emotional collections. Because just like your credit card, when reconciliation stops, closure hits, and some of your relationships have been charged off. Let me show you exactly what that looks like in your heart and in credit. Welcome back. This is episode 2 of C.O.C.O Wealth Wisdom Wednesday. I'm Linda Dada, founder of LD Creates and creator of the C.O.C.O method. And today we're talking about why some of us need to stop lying and stop saying that it's forgiveness because there's no reconciliation attached to it. And we need to just put closure on those relationships, period. This is the same thing the banks do when they offer a settlement and they close the doors on you and they say your account is now settled and paid in full for less and closed. So let me show you how this same cycle shows up in your credit. Emotionally, we hold on. Financially, banks let go. And to be honest with you, a lot of us forgive this behavior 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Oh God, 6, 7 times. Hoping reconciliation is around the corner. And if my sons heard it, they would be screaming right now. That's 6, 7. And when only one person is trying, but forgiveness is not reconciliation. Reconciliation is two people choosing to repair. And when only one person is trying, that's you financing emotional debt at 29% interest. And according to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, over 99% of domestic violence cases result because of financial abuse. So let me show you how this same pattern shows up on your credit report. What you accept emotionally, they shut down financially. Picture your entire credit report is stored inside of a house, and every account that you've ever owned is stored inside of this house. So you have a Capital One, a car loan, a mortgage, and a student loan account. Now, each account is owned by a furnisher. These are the lenders and the banks that actually supply the credit cards to you. And every 30 days, they update your house with your payment behavior. I don't usually welcome myself into other people's houses, but we're about to walk into your Capital One room. If this is clicking and you're realizing nobody ever taught you this, don't scroll. A major Black Friday drop is coming for families. All right, the Capital One door. Your limit on this credit card is $1,000. Month one, you missed the first payment. Capital One sent you a cute little email. Hey friend, you forgot something. And now they've updated your house. First payment missed. Month two, you're still behind. 60 days past due. You get a letter in the mail with big red fonts or an email, another update to the house. Month three, maybe you're in shame, avoidance hits, but at this point you're 90 days past due. Third payment missed. At this point, Capital One has officially marked you delinquent, but they're still trying to reconcile with you. They're still saying, hey, third payment missed. 6 chances in 6 months, and you did not reciprocate reconciliation once. Now they've offered that if you pay $500 towards that $1,000 debt, that they will settle the account. You chose to do it. You paid. So at 180 days, they're done. The room gets charged off. The door is closed. Now here comes settlement. Sounds perfect, right? Peaceful, like, ooh, but it's really closure. See, they've asked you to pay $500 towards your $1,000 credit debt that you owe. Room is now officially stamped, settled for less than the full balance. That's negative, it's permanent, and it's closed. Closure. Tell me, doesn't this sound familiar? Some of us keep settling just to stop the bleeding, accepting half effort from someone who already charged us off. It's not love, that's emotional debt. Now, I'm going to read one of the laws to you because this one is a tongue twister for me. FCRA Section 607B says consumer reporting agencies must follow reasonable procedures to assure maximum possible accuracy in the information they report about you. Meaning, if Capital One or a debt buyer reported your information incorrectly, you have the legal right to dispute it and demand it to be fixed or deleted. Now, before we dive a little bit deeper inside of your credit house, I know you've probably been seeing this board game sitting right next to me, and everything in my house is C.O.C.O. Claim, own, create, overflow. We have a motto: work and play. You must work and you must play. It's not compromise, work before play or work or play. No, it's the combination of both. This is the financial literacy tool created by Derek Grace called the In-Home Banking Board Game. This is the reason that this board game is in my home, but I've also incorporated it inside of my son's homeschool curriculum. It's been accepted by the New York City Board of Education inside of his individualized home instructional plan, which is basically his curriculum. What I've learned as a homeschool educator and as a student myself, this board game teaches the fundamentals that our community should have gotten when we were children. It teaches you the basics of money, cash flow, assets, and liability. It teaches you how to make smart money choices without confusion, frustration, anxiety, or fear. So I'm going to take a moment to just read off one of the cards to you. It says, FCRA, Act of $80, you define it. Now, I left it blank because if you know what that means, I want you to drop the year inside of the comments. Let's see who's really been paying attention. Let me see how much value you really got and how impactful I was in this video. I hope I really was to you guys. And for those of you that aren't even bothered on commenting, don't go. Don't scroll. Stay right here because we're about to break it down like nobody else really has. Now let's tighten up what's actually happening behind the scenes. Credit reporting didn't start with the government. Back in the 1800s, businesses kept little handwritten notebooks on who paid them back and who didn't. It was messy, it was biased, and it hurt innocent people. So in 1970, Congress finally stepped in and passed the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, to protect your name and your financial reputation. This law created rules for the consumer reporting agencies, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, and most of us know them as the credit bureaus. And for the sake of our video, we're going to call them the property managers of your credit house. And one of the strongest rules in that entire law is the FCRA Section 607B. It says CRAs, credit reporting agencies, aka the credit bureaus, they must follow procedures to ensure maximum possible accuracy of any information they report about you. So if something is wrong, sloppy, incomplete, duplicated, outdated, you have the legal right to challenge it. And in 2011, the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, this was created as a federal agency to enforce these laws and hold the big players accountable. So when you look at your credit house, remember, furnitures fill the room. The CRAs are the credit reporting agencies. They're the property managers of your credit house. The FCRA set the rules, and the CFPB enforces the rules. And you have the right to fix what's wrong. All right, now it's time for us to go back home. Let's go back to the credit house. Because that Capital One room, the alarm in there has been going off for 6 months. What's really been happening is month 1, alarm. Month 2, alarm. 3, alarm. 4, alarm. 5, alarm. And month 6, alarm. 6 months, a forgiveness cycle where Capital One was trying to reconcile with you, but there was no response. 6 months, 6 forgiveness cycles, 6 opportunities for reconciliation. Because you didn't respond, Capital One did what closure looks like in the real world. They sent you to settlement. Cool, let's talk, but let's see what really happened when you actually paid that settlement. You owed $1,000, right? And you paid $500 towards that balance. Excuse my dog, she's chewing on a bone. So now Capital One, the furniture, went inside of the house and updated your credit house report. And when they updated your file to the CRAs, they updated it as settled for less than full balance. This is closure. They closed their door permanently. No more reporting. That room is dead. And that negative report, and that will sit inside of your credit report for 7 years. Because settlement is closure, not reconciliation, just like in love. Hey, I got a little guest that just randomly snuck in, my favorite little human, and came in at the perfect time. That's why Congress passed the FCRA in 1970. The Fair Credit Reporting Act is to protect you. Inside that law is your leverage. Now, the FCRA Section 607B says CRA's maximum possible accuracy when it comes to reporting your data to your credit report. If Capital One reported something incorrectly, that law is your shield. And the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, that's the federal agency that enforces the laws of the FCRA. So hear me, you're not powerless, not even in settlement, but you must pull up your credit report to even see what's going on with it, to see what's going wrong. Let me bring this back full circle because I'm not out here playing content games. 99% of domestic violence cases involve financial abuse. That is 99%. And this same emotional pattern shows up in your credit cycles. You keep forgiving people that never change. You stay loyal to accounts and people that have already closed their doors. You accept settlements in relationships. Some of us are living with people who control the money, control the bills, control the access, and we don't even call it financial abuse because it feels normal. If you are in danger, call 911. But if you're dealing with financial abuse and you're wearing scars that can't be physically seen from emotional or mental abuse, and you just want someone to call, please call the domestic violence hotline. Give me a minute, let me get you the number. The number is 1-800-799-7233. So in today's episode, we've covered forgiveness. Settlement is not restoration. We've spoke about your credit house, which is also your credit report. We spoke about the furnishers and how they report things to the CRAs, the agencies known as the credit bureaus. We've spoken of the FCRA and the CFPB and protecting your rights, and the real emotional patterns behind why we end up in financial messes. Here's the part that I'm really proud of. We just walked through this together using my C.O.C.O method. You claimed, you faced the truth. You owned, you learned what was happening behind the scenes. Create, you saw your legal strategy, and overflow. If this hits you, go ahead and hit subscribe. Share this with someone who needs it. Hop on ldcreates.org and sign up. We are looking for our 45 founders. Our community is growing. We're definitely in the building stages, and look out for our Black Friday powerhouse. We're getting ready for 2026. It's practically here. And this year we're breaking cycles in love, in money, and in mind. Hit subscribe. Still looking for our 45 founders? Go to ldcreates.org and sign up. Follow me everywhere. LD Creates across all social platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. Because this year we break all cycles in love, in money, and we are unlearning a whole bunch of things behind this mindset, behind how we think about money. TikTok, and of course here on YouTube. Thank you for hanging out with me and my very special favorite human friend. And tune in next week for your weekly C.O.C.O Wealth Wisdom episode.